guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, please make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I really appreciate all you guys who are already subscribed as well. It really does help, so thank you very much. Okay, let's break down this huge fight that's going to happen tomorrow. Lomachenko versus Lopez. Now, I'm assuming you guys have done a little bit of reading, you know, had a look through it and thought, I'm not sure who's going to win this. Or maybe you're thinking, I definitely know. I was pretty set on Lomachenko winning this fight previously, but now I feel like as time has gone on, I've kind of slowly thought, but maybe Teofimo Lopez, maybe this is the time. Like the kind of passing of the guard, you know, passing of the torch. I don't know, it's difficult. Right, let's go into it a little bit. For people who are in the UK, this is going to be around, I think it's 4 AM. So that'll be Saturday night, Sunday morning, and it'll be on Fight TV for $9.99 or a tenner. For guys in the US, well, lucky you, it's free on, I think it's normal terrestrial TV. So enjoy that on ESPN. Okay, let's break this down then. So basically, it's the master technician versus the young, up and coming talented star. This is going to be, I mean, well, considering what they've been saying to each other, it's going to be fireworks. Let's just put it like that. Let's quickly look at Lomachenko's last 5 opponents. Luke Campbell, Anthony Crawler, Pedraza, Linares, Rigondeaux. Flippin' heck, this guy is just, I mean, he's just out of this world, right? I mean, at the moment, there's no one like him who has moved that fast in terms of winning titles, and yeah, it's just, he's an incredible fighter. Obviously, people are saying, look, he might have a bit of wear and tear on him because he's 32 and he's had a lot of amateur fights. We'll go into that a bit later, but that's why he's moved up so quickly. So similar to, I guess, we're looking at maybe equivalent of like maybe Joe Joyce in heavyweight, kind of, but take Joe Joyce, maybe I guess if he was a couple of years younger, so, and he'd had whatever it was, 300 amateur fights like Lomachenko, and then he just won his world title in a couple of fights. Like, it's just ridiculous. I think it was his 3rd fight he won it. So I mean, the guy is just an absolute, yeah, tank, right, Lomachenko, and there's a reason why they call him the Matrix. He's just an incredible fighter, ridiculous angles that he finds that no other fighter can, and foot speed, hand speed, the way he moves through the ring. I mean, he basically dances almost in the ring, and it's actually because his father basically drilled ballet into him when he was a child growing up. And I mean, can you imagine, right, like as a boxer, why would you be, can you imagine any other trainer asking their boxer, look, go and do ballet to improve your footwork? No, but it's worked, right? Like, he has ridiculous feet, and I mean, he's just, yeah, he's just an absolute beast, right? So yeah, so his 3rd fight ever against Gary Russell Jr. won the vacant WBO featherweight title. I mean, just looking through, like, Gary Russell Jr., Linares, Pedraza, Crawler, Campbell, Lopez, like I said, it's just incredible. Let's have a quick look through Teofimo Lopez's, because, to be honest, he's no slouch, right? I mean, his last fight was against Richard Comey, the IBF lightweight holder, and I mean, that was fireworks, right? I mean, that was a show-stopping performance from Teofimo Lopez. I mean, he ripped the belt away from him, knocked him out viciously, and I think there were definitely doubts about him before the Richard Comey fight, and he put those doubts to bed and kind of showed he is at that level where he can compete and he can fight against someone like Lomachenko, who is just up here, and people are thinking, you know what, he might have a chance to win this. I think the majority of people that I've seen who have been talking about this fight have definitely like lent towards Lomachenko more just because of what he's obviously achieved and accomplished in so little time, but also just the sheer volume of things that he's achieved already. And Lopez is younger, and I think people are saying, this is going to be a good learning fight and he might come again. But, I don't think we should sleep on Teofimo Lopez. I think I get the point that people are saying, look, being tall and rangy and powerful, that doesn't equate to, okay, he's going to beat Lomachenko. Because someone like Luke Campbell was similar in the sense that he was tall and rangy, although he didn't have... I don't think he has the power that Teofimo Lopez has, but you could argue that Luke Campbell is slightly more skillful in terms of just his boxing IQ than maybe someone like Teofimo Lopez, just because he's an Olympic gold medalist and he's, he's fought already a couple of times for the world titles and against very good fighters like Linares, etc. But then, you've got to look on the other side and say, well, someone like Teofimo Lopez, Richard Comey was seen as a really dangerous fighter. So, so apart from Richard Comey, before that he fought Nakatani, Tatley, Magdalena, and Menard. He's building up to that Richard Comey fight, which obviously he did incredibly well in. There's been a lot of trash talking and spite between these two, especially from Lopez, branding Lomachenko arrogant. Lomachenko said to him, okay, it's fine to talk, but let's see if you're still talking after the fight. So, damn, these two do not like each other at all, and I think it's not fake as well. It doesn't seem fake at all. I think there is a respect in terms of they respect each other as fighters in terms of, okay, they recognise that one another is skillful and, this isn't going to be a walk in the park, but I also think as maybe people and personalities that don't get along. So this is going to be, that's just going to add intrigue to the fight, right? Lopez obviously has now shown that he's a force to be reckoned with, but is he going to be any match for Lomachenko? What do you guys think? Because at first I just thought Lomachenko's going to run rings around him, and Lopez is going to be struggling, right, to kind of get in range and really pop at Lomachenko, and Lomachenko's head movement, everything about him is just going to be, he's just so awkward to fight against, right? And Lopez has never fought anyone like him, whereas Lomachenko would have fought people like Lopez, whether it's in the amateurs or WBS or this, or in the pros, so I think the smart money is going to be on Lomachenko because of his pedigree and how good a fighter he is, how skilled a fighter is. I think the only thing that may come into play is that I don't think he's been as strong at lightweight as he has been in the lighter weights, and I think we all know that lightweight is not his natural weight. He is small for the weight. Teofimo Lopez though is huge for the weight. He could easily make 140, 140, and I think eventually he will go up to 147 probably, similar to kind of like the Devin Haney's, etc., who again I think will go up as well. So it's difficult. I think Teofimo Lopez though has got this kind of mindset that he has that confidence that I feel like some other Lomachenko's opponents didn't have. Some of Lomachenko's opponents in the past, I feel like they knew how good he was and they'd seen how good he was, and then when they got into the ring they're kind of like, I don't think they were not confident, but I don't think they have the type of confidence that Teofimo Lopez has. And when they got into the ring, they fought and they saw how good he was and they just kind of gave up. And he has a lot of no-mass retired people on his record, Lomachenko. So, but we'll see. I think it's going to be a really, really tight fight. I think my prediction is going to be Lomachenko points, I would say. I can see Lopez potentially, we've seen Lomachenko be dropped before, so he hasn't got an iron chin like a Golovkin and Canelo, like he can be dropped and hurt. So Lopez, I think he may even drop him once, twice, but I feel like Lomachenko will, unless he catches him with something huge, Lopez, which, that can always happen, I think Lomachenko is going to be very, very hard to beat. Even at lightweight, I just think it's too hard. If you moved up to like 140, I think, okay, fine, maybe I can see potentially why he might lose. At 135, even with Lopez being this big and kind of seeing both fighters, I just think, I don't know, I just feel like Lomachenko, I think Lopez's trash talk might be counterproductive, because I think it's fired up Lomachenko, and I think he's going to basically go out there and try to embarrass Teofimo Lopez. That's what he's going to try and do. He's going to really be on it, and maybe if he hadn't been, maybe Lomachenko wouldn't have been as kind of brash about it, maybe show a bit more respect in the ring. So it's going to be really interesting to see whether it works in his favour, Teofimo Lopez being brash, or whether it doesn't. That's going to be, yeah, something interesting to see, because, and also in the ring, like, is there going to be a bit of like taking the mick out of each other as well? Like Lomachenko does the Matador, what was it, the Matador? Yeah, like symbol where he goes like that. You see, I mean, you must have seen it, like YouTube videos where he does it. It's like hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. And Lopez, obviously, we've seen some of his celebrations are, let's say, a bit risque, but it's going to be huge. So stay tuned for that fight tomorrow. I mean, really looking forward to it, as you can probably tell by me talking about it. And yeah, I mean, if Lomachenko wins this, what do you think? What do you think he's going to do? No idea. So other news I want to quickly touch upon whilst we're talking boxing. On the Povetkin White 2 undercard, there's been a couple of fights that have been, well, 3 fights that have been announced, really exciting fights. So that's 21st of November. Dave Allen versus Christian Hammer at heavyweight. Christian Hammer's a good campaign. He's faced Tyson Fury, David Price, a few others as well. He's a seasoned pro and kind of veteran of the game. This is going to be a good yardstick to see where David Allen's at now, and whether, kind of see what level he's at, because I think it's tough to know whether he can actually fight these types of people and progress, because fighting Lucas Brown, I mean, Lucas Brown's washed up now, I think, and it's difficult to get a gauge, especially when he lost so convincingly against David Price. So that's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be make or break really for David Allen to see where he's at, whether he's just going to stick to domestic level, whether he thinks he can move, maybe win a British title and then move on from there. Also really exciting, like Conor Benn versus Formella. So Formella he's only got 1 loss in his record. He's fought at world level. I mean, he's challenged Sean Porter for his title, and he's recently fought Sean Porter after Sean Porter lost to Errol Spence, and yeah, so Sean Porter didn't have a belt at the time, but I mean, he lost every round, but it was still competitive. I mean, he went to points with Sean Porter, so he's obviously, you know, a good fighter. At least, you know, we're talking kind of fringe world level. I mean, if Conor Benn wins this is a huge fight, because it's definitely a jump up from what he's been fighting domestic fighters. So it's a shame you couldn't get the British title fight on. But yeah, this is a good fight. I mean, it's a tough fight. Yeah, I mean, I don't sleep on Formella. This is not going to be an easy fight for Conor Benn. So very, very competitive fight to put him in. I'm quite surprised they matched him like that, but we'll see what happens with that. And then last but not least, Chris Smith against Dion Juma. This is such a good fight for the British and Commonwealth Cruiserweight title. So this is after Richard Riakpor's vacated the British title, which makes me think that he's going to be going on to look at the WBA route, because I think he's quite highly ranked there. I think he's WBA number 4. So I think he's going to be looking to get a title from the WBA, or kind of fight someone who's ranked highly in the WBA to then potentially go on and challenge for a world title, which is really interesting, because I would have thought, I think he wanted the European title fight, but Tony McCarthy's got that on the Derek Chisora undercard, so he's obviously taking a different route, and he doesn't want to defend the British title against Chris Smith and Dion Juma, so fair enough. So that's a really big fight, the Chris Smith against Dion Juma. So I would lean towards Chris Smith, but I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. So yeah, some really good additions to that card, which is great, because it's going to be a pay-per-view card. So it's good to see there's going to be very competitive and decent level fights on there. Right, thank you very much for watching this video. As I said, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. Thanks very much for your support and have a great rest of the day.